So, so it was not my intention of actually making like multiple Star Wars videos in one day, but I mean, this one is just too good to pass up, right? This article is coming from CBR, so Christopher Nolan calls out Hollywood's willful denial of what made Star Wars a success. I just this makes me happy. Yeah. Oppenheimer writer-director Christopher Nolan recently blasted Hollywood executives for their willful denial of what made the original Star Wars films a success. Nolan invoked 1977 Star Wars: A New Hope to back up his criticism in the studio's current approach to filmmaking during an interview with The Telegraph. I'll leave a link to this article and that article in the description below. Whether for budgetary reasons or reasons of control, studios now look at the screenplay as a series of events and say, "This is the essence of what the film is," he said. That's completely at odds with how cinema developed right from the Lumiere brothers. Lumiere. Lumiere. I'm butchering those names. I'm very bad with names apparently. Right from the brothers train pulling into the station as a pure audiovisual experience, but is very popular fallacy. Sometimes with critics as well as quite frankly that all that matters is the scale of the story behind being told. That was a lot of words for me feeling like I said absolutely nothing. People will tell you that the success of Star Wars had nothing to do with the visual effects and it was all down to a great story, Nolan continued. But I mean, clearly that's not the case. It is indeed a great story, but it's also incredibly visual and oral experience. So this willful denial of what movies actually are has set in. Nolan's comments come after the acclaimed auteur seemingly hinted at his interest in helming a Star Wars movie in a recent interview. I actually made a video on that, but I did not release it because I just did not think it was that good, honestly. There wasn't really much there to work off of. In the interview, they asked him if he would make another superhero film. He flat out said no. And in that very same interview, they asked if he would make a Star Wars movie, and he said pass. That was all it is. He really didn't give much more information than that. The prospect of Nolan directing a Star Wars movie would no doubt appeal to many fans of the franchise. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I I like Nolan's films all the way up to The Dark Knight, and everything after that was pretty much hit or miss. I think Nolan can actually pull off a pretty good Star Wars movie. He would be the one person in Hollywood that could actually do that, especially with his take on the film industry. He doesn't do special effects just to do special effects. He tries to do everything in camera and if he can, like Oppenheimer. Particularly given his reputation for incorporating pioneering practical effects into his work, the filmmaker has arguably taken his old school approach to a new level in Oppenheimer, which recreates the world's first nuclear explosion without the aid of CGI. That is what I was just saying. According to Nolan, Oppenheimer's Trinity test scene took months and months and months to figure out, with the visual effects supervisor Andrew Jackson running a range of experiments to have convincingly mimic an atomic bomb blast in camera. So yeah, I mean, Christopher Nolan is not wrong. Hollywood is absolutely in denial what made Star Wars Star Wars. Obviously, all you have to do is look at the fan base right now to see that. The broken fan base, the divisive fan base. I don't necessarily 100% agree with the special effects part of his argument, but what do you guys think? Do you agree with Christopher Nolan, or do you think just something is wrong with Star Wars altogether? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.